Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. This is for Scraptember. Today's prompt is to use vellum or acetate. And I chose to use vellum because I'm going to use an older Bo Bunny collection from 2016. I have 3 photos of my oldest son when he was in daycare. I was the daycare teacher, so this is actually my little daycare class that he's sitting at the table with. And they were getting ready for lunch, but before lunch comes in, we were letting them color on the table. There's paper on the table, just in case you're wondering. But so they were decorating their tablecloth, and these are all like probably between 1 and 18 months at the most. So they're very little. And I highly doubt anybody can recognize them from the photo, but just in case, I did blur out their faces. And there is a piece of wax paper over the photos. I have lots of scraps left to this collection because I have used it, but it's very hard to use. The papers are very busy, and I can only use them in small amounts. So there are a few papers that I really like that are left. I probably will try to get at least one more layout with it before I get rid of it. But for this one today, I'm going to keep it fairly simple, but I'm going to use a lot of the cut aparts. And I think it turns out pretty cute. And I think it shows off the photos since they aren't that great. One is of my son sleeping, and then, like I said, the other two are just the kids sitting at the table. So here I have 2 other papers that I brought in that are also Bo Bunny. I'll end up not using them. I thought I was going to use them for the background. I decided not to because I decided to use all the cut aparts and different embellishments that way instead. This is a very flat layout. I didn't add dimension at all. The only dimension I'm going to add is wood veneer stars. Sorry, having a little coughing fit there. Um, I did already glue down the pieces at the top just because I had them in place and I didn't want to move them. And I thought the camera was turned on, but it wasn't. But it's okay because I'm going to show you how I'm going to stack up these vellum pieces on top of the cardstock pieces. There are 2 vellum pieces that are flat on the white paper, the one at the very end on the right hand side, and the second to last one on the left hand side. And that was just because I thought they looked nice to have the same one at the end and the beginning. But also, the little girl is blonde, and then the other little girl is brown hair. So I wanted both of them, and I needed all of the squares at the top. So it was okay. I'm going to put this green paper at the bottom, and then I'm going to put this little cut apart card here that says they may not remember all of the details of the story, but they'll remember who took the time to read to them. And again, this is, just a little toddler class, and we read lots and lots of books because at this age, they love to read books. So I thought that was kind of fitting. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I believe I forgot to ink an edge. So, yep, that's what I was doing. So I pulled it up so I could ink the edge, and then I will place it back down. Oh, I know what I did. I wanted to put a little bit of white paper in between the cut apart and the green paper, and I forgot. Up at the top, since there is white space in between all the squares, I decided it would look nicer at the bottom if I did the same. I'm not going to do the same with the pictures because the pictures barely fit across, and I think it looks okay. Since they're right in the middle, it works. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. I'm going to place this little cut apart here, which says, may your dreams take flight. And then it shows the cute little kite. And then, like I said, it has the little kids at the table. And then this one here is gonna get sliced, but it's okay. Nobody's getting cut off. They're just gonna be on one side versus the other. And it is the same kids in each photo, but some of them are turned around looking the other way, and then some of them are turned back around. And I decided just to keep both of them since they're the only two pictures I have. And then in my son's album, it's already set up for a double page layout, and I don't have any other photos to fill it in if I was to only create a single page layout. So I decided I would just go ahead and create a double page layout, and it would have 3 photos. So here I'm just lining them up. I'm going to put this one over here. And this is a little journaling card, and I will explain that this was my class. My son was there that day. He wasn't always at daycare with me at this time. He happened to be visiting that week. Usually he stayed with my mom. And that was just because I was a single mom, and daycare is expensive, whether you work there or not. So he had came to visit that day. I believe this is when my mom had surgery, so she couldn't take care of him at that time. So he had to come to daycare. So I'm going to line up this other green one, and I'm going to lay it across, and then the cute little Humpty Dumpty. I love Humpty Dumpty. I don't know what it is about him. I've always loved Humpty Dumpty since I was little. So I'm really glad to get that one on the layout. I want the green ones to match up like as if they're one solid piece across. And then I will give a little space before I put Humpty Dumpty down. Then there's that train piece that I added under the table, and then I added a vellum train on top because it has the silver. Um, there's like a silver, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not really embossing, but there's a silver layer on the vellum. So that's the reason also I'm adding the vellum pieces because it adds that little touch of silver. So the photo, I couldn't decide if I was going to put it right in the middle or if I'm going to put it more over to the right. So I decided to put it more over to the right. And I'm going to lay all of their names down with the gray stickers that were on the sticker sheet. Basically, just to use up the stickers. There's no other reason. I do know who each of the little kids are still in the photo, even today. Um, I could still name each and every one of them, but one day I might not be able to. And I really want to remember this class because, like I said, it was my first little toddler class that I was the lead teacher. So they were, considered my kids. All of my daycare kids were my kids, and I loved being a daycare teacher. So I'm adding Jeremiah's name on his photo since he is mine. I'm gonna fussy cut out this crayon since it's not cut out. It had like a white border on it, and I just trimmed it off, and then I inked it up with black, and it says "Dream Big." I'm going to put the little cow jumping over the moon, which is another little nursery rhyme over here at the top of his photo where he's sleeping. And that was just to use up more of the stickers. I'm going to put 2 more of those stickers over here where the cars are. And they're just Mother Goose and another little nursery rhyme. I don't remember which one that is, and I can't see it. And then there's 2 little balls that I put down by Humpty Dumpty. And then these are the wood veneer stars that I'm going to pop around the layout. And I just sped everything up because I think this layout's kind of self-explanatory. But I think it shows a way to use these older collections that you might still have in your stash that aren't like today's collections, but you can still use them. You can still create really cute layouts, especially if you have older photos that aren't the best photos, but you need a layout for them. I think this one turned out really great. So there's the close-up. I have some close-up photos that I will show also. You'll be able to see the little wood veneer stars a little bit closer in those cute vellum pieces. And that was the prompt for Scraptember. And then there's all their names. And in real life, you can really read all of their names. I think it turned out pretty cute. I did put the daycare's number and the year, which was 2000. That's really hard for me to comprehend since that was 25 years ago. I don't know how that happened. But, anyways, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Bye.